This is the show where two friends from different parts of the world discuss all things, all elite wrestling. And one of them actually knows what they're talking about. We'll let you decide. Welcome to the Beauty and the Beard Pro Wrestling Podcast with your hosts, Woody and Sarah.
Hey, Woody, are you part of the elite now or something?
Hey, I'm going to say it. I feel like I'm part of the elite now.
Do you want to explain to people what we're on about?
Yeah, what it is, I was responding to a tweet, and I used a GIF of the Young Bucks, and Carl Anderson liked it. So I take that like as confirmation that I have been accepted as an honorary member of the elite. That's what I'm going with.
I mean, everybody can decide for themselves if that's true or whether you're just on a different planet to everybody else.
Well, I'm on a different planet. Trust me.
You're on the elite planet.
Yes, it's nice.
But yeah, so yeah, congratulations.
Thank you. Well, we also have a pretty cool episode of Dynamite to talk about today.
We do indeed.
Would you say this was a step up from last week's Dynamite?
100%.
Yeah, it not that last week was terrible, but yeah, this week definitely felt
even not a great Dynamite is like a 7 on like normal wrestling for me anyway.
Yeah.
So
if you cannot already tell, this is your AEW Dynamite review for Friday, June 11th, 2021. Sarah.
Yes.
Are you ready to talk some Dynamite?
Let's go.
All right. So the show started with the Pinnacle arriving in a white limo. And this was not the last time we would see this limo, would it?
I just love the catwalk of suits, and then Wardlow just rocks out with a flowery shirt.
That shirt, man.
He's just literally not getting the memo about suits, is he?
Wardlow does what Wardlow does. He does whatever he wants to do.
Anybody would tell him any different.
No, I wouldn't.
I definitely wouldn't.
But the first match of the night was Angelico, who's been hired by Matt Hardy to go after Christian Cage, and he took on Christian Cage in the opening match of the show. Angelico may be one of the most underappreciated guys on this roster, and that talent was absolutely showcased in this match. Angelico actually controlled the match a lot of the time, but all Christian needed was a small opening, and he got the win with the kill switch. Afterwards, Matt Hardy attacked Christian, but Jungle Boy came out for the save. Was this a good choice to open the show with this match, and also with the Christian Hardy angle? Because there's obviously,
something
a furthering of the story with Christian Hardy. Yeah.
I mean, look, we know what era I got introduced into wrestling, so I'm literally all for Matt Hardy, Christian, anything. I am still a bit like they're not as young as they were, so I'm just generally in the back of my mind still a bit concerned about what they're intending to do. But in the present moment, this was great, and I 100% agree with you. And Angelico, I just wish the Hybrid 2 in general was showcased more on TV, because they're a fantastic tag team, and I think people forget that when they're not as visible on the shows. I think they might be active on Dark and stuff, but I don't have time to watch every single bit of wrestling in my life, unfortunately. I'd love to. I'd literally love that to be like my life, but I can't.
Yeah, me too.
But no, I love this, and I love the fact that Jungle Boy came down for the save. He's just such a good baby face. So yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready for whatever they've got planned. But this was a good opener. It wasn't as high paced as what their openers can be, but last week it felt like the opener was like the big bang, and then it kind of like trailed off. This was like a good introduction to it, and then it just kind of picked up. So I love this. It's good pace.
So stories coming out of this, we know the Hardy Christian thing is going to obviously happen, or we're looking for that to happen. You mentioned wanting to see TH2 in action more, and I absolutely agree. And something I thought about with this was that Matt Hardy with the Hardy family office, his faction, he has Private Party, a tag team. He has Butcher and the Blade, a tag team. And now he's hired these henchmen, and Angelico and Jack Evans hired henchmen, not necessarily part of the faction, but they're kind of hired guns there. Something I thought I'm hoping they go down this road eventually, where he does keep hiring TH2 to do things, and they get fed up with him, which then starts a feud between TH2 and Private Party, or TH2 and Butcher and the Blade. If we could spin a story, an angle between two tag teams out of this, because you got 3 tag teams there that are kind of involved with the same guy.
Yeah.
It's a natural way to start a feud. I would love for that to happen, and that would get TH2 on Dynamite.
Yeah, 100%. That would be a good way to go around it.
Them and Private
Definitely.
Party, I think a lot.
Oh goodness, could you imagine?
Yeah, so that could be a fun story.
Good.
I hope so.
Yes,
I hope I'm right. Next, Cody Rhodes had an announcement, and his announcement.
Can I just say, when they said Brock in this bit, my heart literally jumped out of my body and fell on the floor. I was like, do not. And then it kind of went back in when he said Anderson's. Like, oh, thank God.
Yeah. Exactly. So he announced the debut of Brock. Not that Brock, folks.
Not that Brock.
Not that Brock.
Oh.
Yeah. As you said, Brock Anderson, the son of Arn Anderson, and he'll be teaming with Cody next week against QT Marshall and Aaron Solo. But QT, he's still it still feels like he's been slighted by Cody. And he came out and basically said he wants Cody in Miami, a South Beach strap match. Then both men took their belts off. Arn got whipped, and Brock got fired up and went after QT Marshall. So what did you think of this announcement? Other than the fact that your heart stopped when you thought Brock Lesnar was going to show up.
Look, Brock Lesnar's great, but I can't not in AEW now. Anyway, so this was interesting. It's really weird, but I am like more siding with QT Marshall at the moment with all this Cody stuff. I'm like, yeah, I get you. But and also Brock Anderson, he looked like he just come up from the beach. He literally looked like he'd just been for a walk on the boardwalk or something. It was like
I couldn't help think that too. He dipped into some of Ethan Page's wardrobe to dress himself for that.
It's like he didn't know this was happening and was just like, oh right, this is all I've got.
Yeah, really? Yeah. Like I would have liked better in a suit or even in ring attire, something that's I agree. That was my first thought too.
I was like, this is so weird. And then trying to beat down QT in them like little wicker shoes. It's just such a weird moment in my life. I was just like, what is going on with my life?
But he does look like little Arn though. He looks like
it's so scary, like the spits, like you generalize going, I don't think I've ever seen any parent-child relationship look so much alike in my life. It's scary. I also think QT's kind of maybe pushing his luck a bit with saying he kind of Anthony Ogogo didn't do it, I did it.
Yeah, I thought about that.
This could be this might be planting the seeds, even though it might be a way off of Ogogo either turning face or leaving or something like that. It just seemed very interesting that Anthony Ogogo wasn't there. B, he's not on the match graphic for the match with QT and Aaron Solo. That's Nick Camarato. It just seems intriguing.
And we talked about that last week. We brought up
Mm.
the fact that we could see, at some point, it was obvious the direction you would go would be a go-go
Yeah.
getting tired of QT's, I guess,
Disrespect.
and still in the spotlight from him, which you
Yeah.
think should be directly on Anthony Ogogo. So,
Yeah.
yep, the seeds are being planted already.
Indeed.
Something that crossed my mind too. What odds would you give it next week of Brock Anderson turning on Cody in that match and joining QT in the Factory?
Mm.
For some reason, something struck me as is this how he's going to debut? He's going to debut and do just like the rest of the. Maybe he sees the vision that QT has with
Could
Cody
you
just tries
imagine
to hold you
Arn's
down.
face?
So yeah, I know. That's what I was thinking. I was like, ooh, yeah, I don't know. You try to make an early impact.
Either that happens or 100% they're going to win.
Yeah. Of course, he went after QT at the end of this thing, but
Yeah.
that whole him hitting Arn thing could have been part of it. I don't know.
Oh yeah,
So it could have been just a
we
setup.
we have learned not to kind of foreshadow stuff this much in AEW because
I know.
what happened with Sammy, MJF, and all that kabang.
Yeah.
So
I know.
yeah, it's a possibility.
You never know.
It's never off the table
But-
in AEW. You think
So-
you've got it right, and then they swerve you.
Hey, you know how we'll find out?
By
By
watching it?
watching Dynamite next week. Yep. And we shall be doing that.
Oh, we
Even
shall.
though it's on Friday again. Like
Oh.
this is the last Friday one, right?
I know,
this
but
is
then
the
isn't
last
it Saturday?
Saturday. I'll be okay with. I'm okay with the Saturday. I can handle staying up late for a
Is that your
Dynamite.
dog?
I hope it's my dog. If not, someone else's dog's in my house.
My husband said to me this morning, when is this you watching wrestling on the weekend when I'm at home going to end? I went, probably got 2 more weeks of it, love.
Yeah. On behalf of AEW, we apologize.
Yeah.
My wife's not too crazy about it either. It is what it is. All right.
It's AEW's fault.
It is. All right. Next, we had Penta, Pac, and Eddie Kingston teaming to take on the Young Bucks and poor Brandon Cutler. I love this match. Even though my boys lost, the interactions between Pac and Eddie, Cutler getting left hung out to dry by the Bucks to be annihilated for like 90% of this match, and everything the Bucks did, it's just good stuff. But this all ultimately led to Cutler taking one of Eddie Kingston's back fists, and he ate the pin to give Penta, Pac, and Kingston the win. But then afterwards, the Good Brothers hit the ring, helped the Bucks with their post-match attack on Eddie, Pac, and Penta. Then the Elite Hunter, Frankie Kazarian, came out for the save, continuing his attacks on the Bucks and company. So how did you like this match and the aftermath?
This is brilliant. Like, I genuinely was just like, a bit sad that Mox isn't there.
Yeah.
But no, this was so much fun. Like, Pac and Eddie trying to get on was like sheer gold. It was absolutely brilliant. And then Eddie trying to have a bit of a one-to-one with him in the middle of the match on in the ring, just going, yeah, me and you, we got to do it, me and you. And Pac's like,
Yeah.
like, really?
Yeah. That's when they did the tope suicidas, right?
Yeah.
I love that spot. That was a great spot. Yeah,
so good. Poor Brandon Cutler, basically, just getting his face smashed in again. But I just loved this. And then at the end, where the your mate Carl Anderson arrived, didn't he?
Yeah. That's
your
right.
best friend.
My boy.
Your boy. And they all turned up. And then when Frankie Kazarian turned up, my first thought was, damn, Frankie's looking good. He's got a little big growth. He looks like he's been camping out in the woods waiting for the Bucks to walk by so he can pounce on them. He had camo on and everything else. This is brilliant.
It looked like he was channeling Moxley a little bit with the camo pants. That's what I was thinking. I'm like,
going for it, Kazarian. I'm going for it.
Yeah.
And then the four of them, like Penta, Eddie, Kazarian, and Pat, just in the ring, like, interesting.
this is the force that's going to be standing in the Bucks' way. I don't know what they're standing in the way of. The Bucks already have the titles. But apparently,
They're just standing in the way. You're in the door. Nah, you're not going past.
This is the force that the Bucks are going to have to face going forward, apparently, for a little while. This the super team, the super faction, or whatever you want to call them.
You can just imagine, like, each one of the four, like Kazarian, Pac, Eddie, and Penta, on like the doors leading into Daly's place, and each Bucks going, "No, you can't come in this way. No, you can't come in this way." And just like, how do we get in?
But we're EVP.
Don't matter.
We're EVP. Come on. Oh, so yeah.
So good.
Yeah. So man, could we see Kazarian hanging out with Eddie on a regular basis now?
Could you imagine?
Literally taking Mox's spot.
Could you imagine Mox coming back and Eddie and Frankie just like having a general chat, and Mox like, "Huh, what are you doing? You're my friend.
Wait a minute.
Who the fuck is this guy? Trying to be like me."
Got my pants on, man. Got my pants
They're
on.
my actual pants.
I've been looking for those. So do you think this whole thing ultimately leads to Eddie Kingston versus Kenny Omega at some point? It feels like that to me.
I genuinely want it to happen at some point. Like, you have no idea how much. And when it happens, I want Mox to be at ringside. Because
I know that was one of the matches you said you wanted to see on our world title
100%
prediction show.
Who wouldn't? I would love to see Eddie beating the hell out of Kenny Omega. That is pure joy for me. That's like a good day.
All right.
I miss Mox.
So I can
already.
tell.
Already. Your dog agrees with me.
Yeah, is that what that was?
Yeah, that was agreeing. That was Doug going, "Yes, I agree. Yes, I agree."
Still, I wish my dogs would stop agreeing.
Moxley.
Stop agreeing. Then we saw a highlight reel of Kenny Omega's successful title defense against Pac and Orange Cassidy at Double or Nothing, including some footage that may or may not have shown that referee Bryce Remsburg was trying to conspire against Don Callis and Kenny Omega during that match. So, thoughts, Sarah, on this?
I genuinely loved how, like, it was like dead gentle music for like Pac and Orange Cassidy, and then when Omega got shot, it's like
and the random crowd shots of people like going crazy for Kenny's win.
But like for Kenny, but it wasn't. It was absolutely genius. And I just love the subtitle. It's like, "You hate Kenny Omega." Oh my goodness. I didn't know what to expect from this, but it trumped everything I thought it would be. Jeez.
Yeah.
It was well done. My head off.
It was well done. Well done.
It was indeed. Brilliance.
Next, we heard from the Pinnacle for the first time since their loss to the Inner Circle in the Stadium Stampede match at Double or Nothing. And we found out that Dax cares a lot about his family. Cash doesn't give a crap about families. Sean Spears was so mad he had to be calmed down. Wardlow can still talk, and he will face he will face Jake Hager in an MMA cage fight. And MJF compared Sammy Guevara to Helen Keller,
which lost like half of the like complete demographic of AEW going, huh?
Yeah, MJF, man, what can you do?
Yeah.
Then we also learned that the Pinnacle would be walking home as the Inner Circle appeared on the video screen and laid waste to that white limousine that we saw at the beginning of the show. The cherry on top was Jake Hager ramming it with a freaking forklift. So, yeah, I think it's safe to say that this little thing between the Inner Circle and the Pinnacle is definitely not over. So how did you like this segment?
I thought it would be concluded with Stadium Stampede 2.
Absolutely not. No.
Oh, this was absolutely amazing. I literally, everyone in the Pinnacle was brilliant, but I am so crazy on Psycho Sean Spears. And it's just like his energy. I genuinely thought he was just stirring into my soul through the TV. I was like, "Oh yeah, you're right. Calm down, have a nice calm tablet or something. Have some lavender."
This is the best Sean Spears has looked
yes.
since he's joined the company.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. This is like and like I've seen Instagram videos of like him like being really nice. It's just such like everybody's got that dark twisty inside of them. I'm telling you, everybody's got it. And Sean Spears has literally just pulled out and gone, here it is.
Like the more I see of this, the more excited I am just for a Sean Spears match. I'm ready to see Sean Spears in action again. Yeah,
100%. I also love the fact that MJF is saying that Jericho is a false idol. He is like, this is like the thing, like loads of people say, don't meet your heroes, don't meet your heroes. And I genuinely, it sounds really bad, but I'm on that same thing. I always think that. Because you can build people up in your head so much. And if they don't live up to it, you're absolutely gutted. So that's one of the reasons why I refuse to like meet and greets or anything like that. One, I can't handle stress. Two, I just can't put myself through it. But I just love how it was like,
you wouldn't be able to handle meeting John Moxley.
Oh my God. I would literally be a pool on the floor of just like be gone.
There's no way. Yep.
There's just not a chance in any world that would be able to happen to me. But no, MJF just like just really hates Jericho now. And even like when he like said that he denied Jericho's quest for a match, he said it with like so much poison in his voice. I was just like this guy lives and breathes this character so much. Like you generally now, I can't even imagine him, like being like happy on like a birthday or like, when the sun's out or something. I can't imagine him being happy. It's really weird.
Because most other people in that company, I can see as quote unquote real life regular folks doing their stuff in a way. MJF, it's really hard to picture that.
It is. It's really difficult.
And like, maybe Luchasaurus, but that's a whole different thing. That's a whole different thing.
Even in like interviews, MJF is still MJF. He's never like he's never not on as MJF. That's what's insane. So like I bet his family was watching it going, but you're such a nice boy, Maxwell.
Rosie O'Donnell's so disappointed.
But then when we got to the limo thing, just how much fun does it look like the Inner Circle having?
I know.
Like seriously, I generally quote tweeted Santana going, "Can I please join? I've got these spiky heel shoes to use as my weapon of choice."
She does.
Please. I also have a bag that goes with them, so I've got like triple spikes. Like I'm good to go, and it's all black. Like my wardrobe is black clothing. I'm halfway there.
You would literally be a walking weapon.
I know.
They can just pick you up and use you as a weapon.
Hey, them shoes may or may not have been used before. May or may not.
It could be evidence. It could be evidence of a murder that we're not aware of.
But Jake Hager in that forklift, he just looked so happy. But then when they all got onto it, this is the point where my husband was watching it, right? When they got onto the back of the forklift.
He was watching it?
He was watching this bit because the dog wanted to come inside, so he had to come inside.
Okay.
So when they all got onto the forklift, because my husband works in like engineering, so like they have forklifts all the time, he generally went, "You're not meant to do that." I went, "What?" He went, "You're not meant to ride on the back of a forklift like that." I went, I don't think that's the problem.
OSHA's not going to come in and say anything with this one.
I don't think they've got a health and safety risk assessment going on at this. They just like decimated a car. So, but yeah, he was just like, "No, you can't do that."
Can't do that. That is a violation. That is a violation
of blah 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 blah. Section da da da. But yeah,
that's such a realistic take on it.
I know. That. Yeah, I was just like, you go back outside? So I was enjoying this. Now it just made me think of all the health and safety issues they've got. But yeah, so I loved it. I absolutely loved
Okay.
it. So
Awesome.
good, so much fun.
So, like, coming out of this, do you think it's more likely that we get like a MJF versus Jericho match to end up really blowing off eventually this feud between the two factions? Or do we get MJF versus Sammy Guevara to settle it? Because both opportunities were kind of thrown out there by MJF because he took shots at both guys. I would love to see Sammy be the one to face MJF in a one-on-one kind of handle
What I
business.
think the way that you could do that is you could have say MJF v Jericho, but MJF seriously injures Jericho again. So much so the match is stopped. He claims that he's won, and you can have Sammy Guevara go, well, technically you haven't. It got stopped. So you want to prove you're the better man, face me, and that's the way you can do it.
I like that. I like it, and it becomes more emotional too, especially with Jericho being out.
Because people want to see. We've already seen MJF Jericho, but it makes sense to leaders to go against a leader. But also it will tie into the cage match where Sammy submitted for the Inner Circle because of Jericho. It will make sense for him then to come back and like take his spot for his mentor.
Yeah, and it kind of work along with Sammy being portrayed as the hero of the Stadium Stampede match too, where he was really celebrated, which was the whole reason Sean Spears is so pissed off. Just that's it. So, who's winning between Wardlow and Hager in that MMA cage fight?
Oh my god!
Who you got?
Seriously, it's got to be Hager.
It should. It legitimately should.
It legitimately should. Because
but this is wrestling. So,
yeah, but otherwise they're taking it off him type thing.
Yeah. Yep.
If he wants to say he's undefeated.
He's undefeated in MMA. Yep.
Then he's got to stay undefeated, surely.
Yep. I think he's like 2-0 though or something. 2-0, 3-0. But still undefeated. Undefeated. I don't either, but yeah, I'll have to look it up later. Y'all can just let us know. What's his record? I don't know.
Yeah, please tell us, because I have no idea about any of this stuff.
Yeah.
I barely know anything about wrestling. Do my best.
Hey, you fake it really well. You fake it. You've had me convinced for a while that you actually know what you're talking about. So much so that we're doing this.
I know, crazy.
It's all right.
I think Hager, but if it ends up going Wardlow, it's only just gonna make everything like 10 times more heated. But I generally think it has to be Hager. But then again, we've been swerved before. So
yes. All right. So then Sting and Darby were seen in a vignette responding to Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page's challenge for Darby to find a new partner to face them. And Darby's answer is he doesn't want a new partner. He doesn't want any partner. He wants Sting to stay at home so he can face Sky and Ethan Page in a handicap match. So, Sarah, Darby feels like he's got something to prove, doesn't he?
As soon as he said, as soon as this happened and like they decided that Darby wasn't going to get anybody, I generally just went, like, Darby, you're going to die, dude. Like, why do you keep putting yourself in these situations? Like, think about this.
Yeah.
Stop. Just, please, you make me so nervous. It generally looked like there was a bit of like tiny bit of tension between us as well.
A little bit, yes,
them because
absolutely.
Like Sting was like, no. Like he's like, no, stay, just stay home this one time. And I was like, oh, all right, okay.
And Sting held that fist bump up there for what felt like an hour.
Yeah, Joe was going, stop leaving him.
Fist bump me, dude.
Darby,
fist bump me, dude.
Dude.
Do it.
Yeah, so I was a bit like, I don't agree with your decision, Darby. I do not. But then again, like I kind of like hinted on Twitter, I think it was on Twitter. I respect his decision because he's Darby Allin. Like he's gonna do things his way, no matter what is put in front of him. I just think I don't know. I just think this is going to be. I think maybe something happens. Sting's not there, but Lance Archer might be.
Exactly. That could be where Archer comes in to make the save, or to help Darby in a situation where he shouldn't have put himself in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. This could be where he enters the picture. We've been waiting for that for a while. And we talk about layers of character we talked about with other people, but especially with Darby, because Darby seems like somebody that could have several layers.
Oh yeah.
That you don't even realize they're being peeled off until you really think about it. Just this promo right here, kind of it opened a weakness, kind of, because really Darby didn't need to do this, because he's, again, like Sting has said, TNT champion before I was ever involved. All this stuff you've done, but he feels a little emotionally vulnerable. I think that's what kind of because he was gotten to by Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky. So where Darby is such a risk taker and so a tough guy, literally, that will stand up to any adversity. Yeah, we see where he can be baited into situations now where he can be really vulnerable and leave himself open to lose or get himself hurt. Yeah. So that's the layer, I think, that was kind of peeled back a little bit, and Sting really is like the big brother in this whole thing. We say talked about him like a father figure, but it felt like a little brother, big brother situation where the little brother thinks the big brother's been handling all of his fights. He's like, no, dude, like I got to win this one on my own. Yeah, but it wasn't the case. But for some reason, Darby felt like it was. So
I definitely think it's like you said, it's the emotion. It's Darby's thing with Ethan Page. That's what it is. That's what's fueling him on this thing. I think he feels like he doesn't have to prove something to anybody, but I think he feels like he has to prove something to Ethan Page and to himself as Darby.
Exactly.
He can beat Ethan Page. He doesn't need anybody else. Yeah. And I generally think them near falls, if it's Darby with Ethan Page on the near falls, I think that's going to get his frustration up so much. It's going to be, this match is going to be so heavy in storyline. It's going to be amazing to watch. Like you said, there's going to be so many layers in this that just peel away. And I think Darby's character in general is starting to become a bit fractured. It's like the Batman thing, you live yourself long enough to become the villain.
Exactly.
It's like he's fracturing a bit, and he's in what he's doing. It's interesting.
And those emotional vulnerabilities that we just saw there that start kind of cracking a little bit could lead eventually. We talked about Darby as a heel at some point. That's where it could lead. Not now. I don't think that's happened at all now.
No.
Just those cracks that you see could ultimately be the reason that it leads him down a path eventually.
And that's the thing with AEW as well. That's the thing with AEW as well. It's they don't rush these things. They take the time because in the real world, someone who's slowly but surely losing who they are as a person and becoming the opposite of what they stand for, it doesn't happen overnight. There's got to be little situations and little hints of it, and little seeds planted that you can slowly but surely see it unraveling as somebody that's watching it, but the person going through it can't.
Yep.
It's a bit like what happened with the Bucks. They started having little mini heel tendencies every now and again, which was going on for months. And then all of a sudden, that was it.
You just wonder when it's going to happen. You start seeing just the little details here and there, and then when it finally happens, you're like, "Yep, we saw it coming."
That was it. That was it coming.
Good stuff. All right. Now, and what felt like it could have been the main event. Evil Uno challenged for his first singles title as he faced Miro for the TNT Championship. Miro controlled the match throughout, as you would expect,
Yeah.
But after Stu Grayson and Five came out to encourage Uno to help him get back in the ring, and they were eventually cleared out by Miro, pretty much. After that, the Uno started fighting back to the point where all of the Dark Order came out to cheer him on. They were all lined up on the ramp stage area, and it was really cool. So they were out there to see their friend pull off the upset, but instead they watched him tap out to the game over as Miro retained the title. I absolutely love the story that was told during this match.
Yeah.
I thought it was brilliantly done. So
this was like really emotional as well.
Yeah.
Did you manage to watch the not the Dynamite, the BTA?
Yes, I did see BT. Yes,
Did you see it where they were practicing? Every time when he put him in that hole, I was like, "Come on, you practice, get out of it." Oh my goodness! Yeah, this was an emotional match as well. I genuinely was like, "Could you imagine?" Like, oh my goodness! And like, -1 was there. I was just like, "Oh my god!"
I know.
This is like, oh, like the story in this match, like you said, it is just so deep, and like the depth of it was just, and credits like Uno, my goodness, did he go up against Miro? I genuinely thought he's got this. Look how great, like, do you know what I mean? He's completely in control of it, knocking Miro off his feet, which, let's be honest, doesn't happen that often.
No, does not.
Miro still looks like an absolute beast and a killer. Like,
he does.
Like he's genuinely like scares me.
He didn't come out of this looking weak at all, even though got like had a little comeback. He still came out looking like an absolute monster.
But yeah, this was brilliant. It was just when he did the tribute to Brody with a discus light, and like
he did,
and like Miro didn't move. I was just like, oh god, this is it, and this is just it.
That's it. That's when you knew it was over.
That's when I knew, like, this is gonna be it now. Oh my goodness.
Poor guy.
Oh, poor guy.
But hey, okay, the Dark Order had a sad moment here, but before the show ends, I promise you, they will be happy.
Yes.
But we'll get to that. We will get to that.
Yes.
Next, we got a short vignette introducing everyone to Andrade. And we learned that next week he will have a sit-down interview with Jim Ross.
I'm excited. Amazing, this little thing.
He did.
Absolutely, like money.
So I'm excited to see what comes out in the interview with JR. Yep.
I hope it's just him. I hope we don't have Vicky Guerrero as well. I just want to hear what Andrade says.
Exactly. I would be more for that. Yes.
Yeah.
So his first match, do you think they're going to save his first match in AEW for a live crowd, like maybe the Miami show?
I hope so. I
Me
don't
too.
want to happen what happened with Christian.
No. We're almost there. We're almost to where we're touring again. Let's just
let's just
hold that match off.
He can have promos. He can have like coming out to the ring, cutting a promo. That type of thing's fine. But match, please wait to the crowd. Because the reception he got when he came out the first time,
we
won't
talk about that.
Yeah.
You don't want that. No. Save that for a live crowd in another town, like instead of being at Daly's Place. It's Miami or the Texas shows. One of those. Absolutely. Then world champion Kenny Omega and Don Callis came out to let us know what they think of Jungle Boy, who will be challenging Kenny for the title on Saturday, June 26th, on the special episode of Dynamite. Don thinks Jungle Boy is a one-hit wonder, and Kenny thinks Jungle Boy is missing something, and that something is guts. But then Jungle Boy showed up, and he showed some guts as he came to the ring to tell Kenny that he talks too much. Which was true, because Kenny was running his mouth the whole time. And Jungle Boy looked so cool to stand there and listen to it like, yeah. Dude, you talk too much. This resulted in a brawl between the two in which the Bucks ran out to save Kenny from Jungle Boy's snare trap. Like Jungle Boy had him caught in it there for a minute until the Bucks came out with the save. So
Kenny's such an A-hat, isn't he?
He is. He plays it so well.
He plays it so well. I just genuinely I know you're a nice guy. And I know what you've done in your career and stuff, but I really don't like you right now. I'm so sorry. And
Jungle Boy is a perfect one to have out there for him to be
even
mouthing off
that as well. Like,
Mhm,
I generally
mhm.
wanted to like reach through the TV and just like slap Kenny across the face, going, "Shut up, shut up, just shush,
Ah,
just shush." I love after like obviously Jungle Boy got him in submission, and then the books came out to
mhm.
do the book things.
Yep, yep.
I loved how when Kenny Omega finally got up and one of the books passed him his title, he basically was holding on to it like a comfort blanket. Like, he was just like, "It's mine."
My
Like
blankie.
generally looked like really like upset at the thought of like not having it. It was
Like,
just
you
played perfectly.
you could just replace the title with a teddy bear and it would look the same.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
Okay.
He was like a little kid that had just like been shouted at by his mum or something, and he was
Yeah.
like upset and just went, comfort. Absolutely brilliant. He's so good.
I know there's an obvious answer to this, but is there any chance that Jungle Boy beats Kenny Omega?
No.
Yeah, I know. But okay, so we know the answer to that one. So do you think that Jungle Boy, even in this obvious loss that's going to happen to Kenny Omega, can come out of this looking even stronger, even in a loss to Kenny Omega?
Yes, because the way that you can do that is you can have, I don't know, somebody maybe help Kenny
Yeah,
for the
I could
win.
think of a couple of guys.
I can think of a few, like your mate. What's his name?
Yeah, Carl Anderson.
Carl Anderson. You could have like them come out and not distract the ref, knock Jungle Boy out, drag Kenny and put Kenny to pin him that way. That way, Kenny's not, pin Jungle Boy on his own steam, and Jungle Boy's not lost on his own steam. It was all kind of concocted and,
Yeah.
a plan.
You never know. A new member of the elite might run out and help. So,
Why are you going?
well, look, just know if you see a bald-headed, bearded guy come out of the crowd, that's not John Silver. I mean, you can probably tell the difference between the size of our biceps, but
you'll be holding on to like Matt Jackson's legs, going, "I love you so much. I do, I really do." Max is shit.
I hate Max. Just so you know,
I hate Max.
I bet it on you guys. I bet on you guys. All right. So, okay.
To call out is going, "Hey, bestie."
All right. So next we found out that the partnership between Mark Sterling and Jade is in full effect, and she is looking to capitalize because she wants to be a household name. Of course, Sarah, you already think she's a household name, right?
Indeed, yeah, I love her.
You love some Jade.
I do. Yeah, she's amazing. She's going to be an absolute star.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait.
Yep, I think the dueling personalities between them are great because Mark is. We've talked about that before about how Jade is very in charge of that situation.
Yeah,
and I think it's obvious who's running that show.
Oh, 100%.
And that's going to be a fun.
Wants.
Yep, and he better do it.
Yep.
Or she'll break him. So
yep. Into like a toothpick.
This will be fun. So then we heard from Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page, who think that Darby's decision to face them in a handicap match is the dumbest idea he's ever had. Do you agree?
Pretty much, yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
we've already agreed.
I know, like, Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page are the bad guys in this, but I have to agree.
They're right. They're right. Yeah. Make a good point. Next, the Murder Hawk monster, Lance Archer, defeated young Chandler Hopkins in about 7 seconds, approximately. I didn't count. Lance ain't messing around right now. So,
I think he's.
So give us a play-by-play of how this match went, Sarah. Give us a play-by-play.
Lance Archer turned up, blackout, walked off.
That's it.
Did I miss anything?
Nope, that's about it. So, if Archer isn't going to get involved with Darby and Sting, then what should he do? Should he just keep coming out and annihilate?
I have no idea.
People like this.
I have no idea what the plan is with him because the way he acted with this, like, I don't know if like he's doing it in like the wrestling world or if he's generally this annoying. He's just done. Like, just like slam it. Yeah, I'm done. I've done my bit. Pay me. I'm going home. Because he generally, like, he seems really mad. Yeah, I don't know what the plan is. I am intrigued because you don't want someone like Lance Archer not to, be on TV. He's like, he's amazing. Why would you not want this guy anywhere near your product?
Yeah, but he needs something. He
He does
needs a
need
story.
something, 100%.
I think
something is, I have no idea.
I just think the Darby Sting situation just makes too much sense to me.
Yeah.
Got to somehow get involved there.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I mean, if he's going to keep having matches, not even like this, but against anybody, I would love the whole where he just gets up and walks off thing. Let that keep happening, man. I thought that was cool. Like, literally, I'm done. I'm out. Just not even celebrating. Don't raise my hand.
I would literally love him to walk out. Then we follow him, and he just walks past Tony Khan. And Tony Khan hands him a check, and he goes,
"Take it to the house."
Yeah.
All right. So this is kind of a surprising segment to me. In this segment, the Hollywood hunk Ryan Nemeth wants Orange Cassidy to come to the Wingman for a makeover. Like, he doesn't like the way Cassidy looks or is portrayed. So this makeover could be one that he could get the easy way or one that he could get the hard way, as Cesar Bononi threatened to rearrange his face. So is this a new feud for Orange Cassidy, him against the Wingman? What it kind of felt like.
See, I have two things with this. One, I just randomly love this because I was not expecting it whatsoever. So that caught me off guard.
Yeah.
No, disrespect to them or anything, but from being in a world title picture and then maybe going into this feud seems a bit like not
demotion?
The right step.
Yeah.
It feels like it's sort of like going a bit backwards. Like, we've just portrayed Orange Cassidy as almost like winning the world title. Like, he was that good.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden we're back to his gimmick type thing. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it.
That being said, it is a step back. It feels like that, but it could be entertaining. I think Ryan Nemeth is one that's that has potential as a character. I think it's pretty funny, and I don't know if he. I'm not sure who would be front and center in this feud with Orange Cassidy. I would assume it would be him eventually.
Yeah.
I guess you could say he's the MJF of that group. But so that's the finish line for this, and I don't know. There could be some fun stuff had there, but I do agree though. Even though I think it has potential to be very entertaining, and I did not see it coming, I do agree that it is, after being in the world title match and being that close, it does seem like a weird spot to go to.
Yeah, I mean, like always, I will 100%, watch it and could generally be pleasantly surprised at how great it could be. But just on the surface of what we've just seen from that minute little segment, I am not sure how this is going to go.
But I know how we'll find out.
By watching it.
Keep watching Dynamite. Oh, okay. Next we had the number 3 ranked Nyla Rose facing the number 5 ranked legit Layla Hirsch in a women's division matchup. And it was a solid showing for both of them. But it did feel like it was really designed to help build Nyla up for an eventual feud with Britt Baker. And it ended with Nyla putting Layla away with a brutal avalanche beast bomb for the win. So, did you like the match? What'd you think about it?
I did. I just didn't like the cheap shot at Layla Hirsch's height.
Yeah.
We don't need them kind of, jokes, inverted commas, in AEW. It's felt a bit, it's not that funny.
No short jokes, man. No short jokes.
No. This was good. I agree with you that it's heading towards Nyla against Britt Baker, but she's not going to win it back, hopefully.
No.
So yeah, this was a good little match. It feels like we've had one women's match again, but we're going to have like 2 segments from women. It feels like they're trying the best now to kind of push this division forward. I just wish that we could have like the women's division not in the same slot of the match every single week. Like, it can be elsewhere on the card.
Yeah. Like
It
that
always seems
eventually.
like, women's division. Well, main event's coming next.
Yeah, let's plop it in right here. Which we've gotten the main event. I'd love to see a women's match open the show at some point too. That'd be great. Not to say this one necessarily should have opened the show.
No, but just
we can get there though to where we open it with 100%. That. So and we got more confirmation in the next segment that obviously this is leading to Britt Baker versus Nyla situation. As the new women's champion, Britt Baker let us know that she was not impressed with Nyla and that she understood how important the title was to Nyla because the title would literally make Nyla Rose. But the difference is with Baker, she makes the title.
Yeah.
So
this was good. Yeah, I really want to move on from the entire burger thing as quickly as we possibly can. But yeah, this was good. It's what it is. We are setting up for Britt Baker versus Nyla. So yeah, good stuff.
All right, we'll see where it goes. And in the main event, Hangman Adam Page teamed up with Preston Vance, number 10 of the Dark Order, to face the Machine, Brian Cage, and Powerhouse Hobbs of Team Taz after the challenge that was laid down by Taz last week. And though it was a great match, the story here was more dissension in Team Taz. As later in the match, Ricky Starks, he tossed in the FTW title belt to help Cage, but the Machine wanted nothing to do with it. Starks wasn't happy. He was, in fact, so not happy that he slapped Brian Cage in the face, which was a mistake. Ricky took off running as Cage chased Starks to the back, leaving Hobbs to eventually take a buckshot lariat from Adam Page for the win. Afterwards, Adam Page celebrated with the Dark Order with some adult beverages, except for -1. He had a bottle of water. Saw that. Team Taz was the opposite. They were absolutely not happy with the way this show and match ended. So, how did you like the main event?
Oh, this is brilliant.
Yeah, it was. It really was.
For so many reasons, this was brilliant. Ricky Starks, his face is just an animated comedy movie.
Kept pointing in the neck.
Yeah, every time it's like the camera's on his face, he is just so animated. He's literally an all-round wrestler. It's ridiculous how good he is.
He is.
But when he ran off, this is another bit where my husband had like sort of come in. When he ran off and he was like pointing on his neck, going, the neck. I was like, he's saying the neck. And this was just like, yeah, it's his neck. I was like, no, you don't get it.
I got one neck.
Too. Yeah, and Brian Cage is in for some telling off. Taz was not happy. He was not happy. This is it, like, because I originally, like, they keep swerving this for me. Because 1 minute I'm going, yeah, Ricky Starks is leaving. The next minute, no, they're kicking Brian Cage out. Then, no, Ricky Starks is leaving. I know they're kicking Brian Cage out. Like, what? What are they doing? I generally don't know what the direction of this is, apart from something's going to happen and it's going to go kaboom. Because this can't, Lusher can't keep having this.
But I know how we'll find out, though.
How?
By watching Dynamite every week.
That is the key to this, I'm guessing.
It's a theme throughout this episode.
If only
subliminal messages. Watch Dynamite.
For the last 2 years, if only I'd known just to keep watching it, I would understand what was going on.
You're right, though. This thing could go in several directions, and I love that.
100%. It could go in any direction they want. It's ridiculous how this is just slowly but surely, like we said with the Derby thing, this is slowly but surely beginning to unravel. And we've been with this for about 3-4 months.
Yeah, and normally, some things can, linger and get old, where you're like, just get on with it. And some people may think that, and if you think that, that's cool. But with this, it doesn't feel like that to me. I know with the Arcade Anarchy thing with Miro and Kip and Penelope and all that, and best friends, that felt like it overstayed its welcome.
Yeah.
With this, it doesn't feel like it. It's entertaining and it's not overdone to where it's all the time in your face and your face and your face.
That's
and it's
the
so
key.
subtle. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the key because they're not on it all the time. It's not always happening. So you're not like being bombarded with it all the time. If they are on TV, it's not huge segments about it. It's just little snippets every now and again. You know, it's keep reminding you about it. It's not.
Yep.
It's not this whole big thing in your face all the time with, you know, like Arcade Anarchy match was just such a bad idea.
Yeah.
For so many reasons.
Yeah.
But this with Teen Taz, it feels like so organic. Like you could even say like this doesn't even feel like it's storyline. It's just something that's happening in a company. Like things happen all the time where like groups of people start to fraction off. So 100% up for it.
And what Taz brings on commentary, you can't really put a value on that, because having him on commentary for all these matches where this story is taking place, it adds so much, because just to hear the anger in his voice throughout that match, if you take that away from the match, you lose so much. And it's the same thing with Don Callis on commentary for Bucks matches or for Kenny matches. It adds so much to that match, to the story that's happening in that match. To me, I just think those things are so valuable.
Yeah.
Those guys being on commentary for those.
100%.
But with this, I love it. Like, Dynamite doesn't have to. They do a really good job of not always ending Dynamite with the main event angle.
Yeah.
Because I got so used to seeing that watching wrestling growing up. The show was going to end with the main event angle, or my memory, it seems to be that way. The majority of the time, it was that way. Feels like it, and I could be wrong. But with this, like, this is not the main story in AEW, but yet it ends the show, so it gives it a more important feeling, and it gives other guys a chance for that main event spotlight, so I love that. And we haven't really even talked about Hangman a whole lot, but, having him with the Dark Order at the end, and, this is, again, another win for Hangman. I know that this was in a tag match, but it's still
counts.
It just starts building to eventually, another slow build. We talk about how long things are and how they don't get old. Us knowing that eventually Hangman's going to get that title shot, be better.
Yeah.
Nothing about that is like, get on with it.
No.
To me, anyways, I love the slow burn for this. It's really good.
100%.
So
it makes like, what is it? Some people say it's not always about the destination, it's about the journey, and this really is that.
Absolutely. This
is
perfect
the fun
line.
bit. This is the fun bit. It's like, I know this is going to sound crazy, but it's like when Mox was leading up to getting the title, the like sheer fun bit was all the back and forth between Inner Circle, Mox, Jericho, the whole all that. The build to that was so entertaining, so exciting. Like, will he join the Inner Circle? Won't he? Oh, he swerved them. It's so it's so enjoyable to watch. And then when you get to the destination, you're like, great, you're living that moment. And then it's like, right, what's the next thing? So it's really nice to enjoy these slow burns. And don't forget, this for Hangman hasn't even been just him leading up to the AEW World Title. This was like from when he and Kenny teamed up. This has been going on for that long. This is like probably the longest running storyline in AEW so far.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Like the whole like elite thing and like all that is like the longest. So it doesn't even feel like it's been that long, which is crazy.
And it's all going to come to a culmination, and it's that, again, we've been on that journey. It's been a fun ride so far, and I feel like the best parts are yet to come.
Oh,
absolutely.
When he starts actually getting into that program against Kenny.
It's going to be beautiful.
Magic.
It's going to be beautiful. All right. Next Friday, we have pretty awesome lineup. Just looking at these matches that are set up for next week, we have Penta, Eddie Kingston, and Frankie Kazarian, the Elite Hunter, versus Matt Jackson and the Good Brothers. Andrade is going to sit down with JR in an interview segment. Orange Cassidy versus Cesar Bononi. We have Darby Allin versus Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page in the handicap match. Cody Rhodes and Brock Anderson versus QT Marshall and Aaron Solo. Sorry. And Jake Hager versus Wardlow in an MMA cage fight. Yeah, this looks like a pretty awesome Dynamite.
It does.
There are not many weak spots.
I have just pulled up the rankings for as of June the 9th. Do you want to hear them?
Yes. Hit me.
Okay, so in the men's rankings, Jungle Boy is number 1 with 8-1 of 2021.
Yeah.
Number 2 is Hangman Adam Page with 10-1 in 2021. Third is Darby Allin with 10-1. So he's matching up with Adam Page in 2021.
That's interesting.
John Moxley is 4th, who matches up with Jungle Boy in 2021, but overall he's obviously different. And 5th is Orange Cassidy, which is 8-1-1 in 2021. Women's.
Well, that's interesting. And just to point out, too, a lot of people will look at Jungle Boy and go, what? How has he won with that record? But he's automatically number 1 because of the Battle Royale.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to keep that in mind. Yeah.
Yeah. So in the women's, Thunder Rosa is 15-2 in 2021.
Yep.
Ty Conti is 15-3 in 2021. Nyla Rose is 11-2 in 2021. She's 3rd. Hikaru Shida is 4th at 5-1 in 2021. Layla Hirsch is 12-3 in 2021. She's 5th. And in tag teams, Varsity Blondes are 1st with 13-4.
Wow.
The Acclaimed are 2nd with 10-3. FTR are 4-0 at number 3. Private Party are 5-1 at number 4. And 5th,
here we go.
Santana and Ortiz are at 5-2.
Oh, so they're going to slowly start climbing up that ladder, aren't they?
Yeah.
Picking them off one by one until they get to my boys, the Young Bucks.
They've got to go through a whole lot first.
Yep, they do. But I got a feeling they're going to get there. I got a feeling by All 100%. Out we will be seeing the Young Bucks versus Proud and Powerful.
Yeah.
Yep. And that was the rankings. The
It was.
Official AEW rankings for this week. Good job.
Thank you.
All right. So, another great episode of Dynamite. Again, we talked about how last week felt like a little bit of a dip. This is this is back up another peak. I think this was an excellent episode of Dynamite. And next week, again, I just went through the matches. It looks like it's going to be another good episode. So, a lot to look forward to. Yeah. So, I hope you enjoyed our review. Please don't forget to follow us on Twitter. You can follow the channel at BeautyXTheBeard. You can follow me at Let the Beard Play. And you can follow Sarah at Strange_Pixie.
You can.
Where we talk about AEW a lot. Like a lot. So, jump into those discussions with us because we will talk it up.
And my profile's back to normal. Yes.
Yes, her profile is back to normal. The wager
I survived.
Aftermath is over with. Profile's looking better.
Yeah.
I'm glad you survived, and I appreciate you putting up with it because again, I know I pointed out in a tweet that she could have vetoed any of that stuff, but literally everything I sent to her, she didn't change a thing. She even added the little emojis to her name.
Yeah.
Those little emojis that she put out beside everything that went along with what the theme was, I didn't do that. That was all her. She was playing along. She So I appreciate that. She's a really good sport. I don't give her many. I don't give her many compliments, but I'm going to give that one.
Oh,
She's pretty awesome for real. And that's the last compliment for a while.
I'll ever receive.
Oh, but yeah, she's an awesome co-host. She makes this totally worth it. A blast every week.
Thank you very much.
Yep. So, but thank y'all for listening. We appreciate it more than you know. So y'all have a good one out there. Be good to each other. And we will see you on the next one.
Bye-bye.